taking it in stride.
For me, this is a very difficult topic, and that's why I chose it. I don't take anything in stride,
Really?
so I thought it would be good. Listen to my own words. What I do is I watch these shows later on, and I go, "Oh, yeah, you should do that."
Really take that guy's advice. Yes.
He goes, "Why so serious? Why so serious?" You know that line?
Yeah.
I don't know how he talks.
You sound like him, yeah.
Yeah. Why is everything so serious? Why do people take themselves so seriously? So taking yourself seriously is better than taking it in stride, but it's not. So take it in stride. It's a good idea, but it's very difficult to do. You see what I'm saying? I'm speaking from experience.
How have you
should
done it?
we?
How have you-
Why should we? Because it's good for us. When you're raising a child, you just want to do it perfectly, and you want to make. You find out when they're 12, you failed, basically.
Is that how it goes?
It's right around 11 or 12 where you go, I didn't sign up for this. But they're all at attention. That's kind of like me. And so the guy said, "Man, that's going to take a lot off your life." So I said, "What?"
Oh.
He said, "Yeah, haven't you heard when someone is that meticulous and they can't stand anything out of place, it takes seconds off your life." I think my opinion at this point is it can save your life to take things in stride. Be meticulous where meticulousness is required, but don't do it so much that it shaves time off your life. I'm saying take things, balance. It comes to the word balance. Life needs balance. You don't need to be so vehement about things. This has to be this way. Things don't need to be just right. I think things need to be balanced and in the vicinity of right. I would say take things in stride in another area other than your health, Just right all the time? Yeah, in a piece of music. Okay, I can see that.
Should we change the name of the show to Jack Price's Just Right?
Yeah, I think
or
Jack
About
Price
Right.
Jack Price is just right, just like I love that. That's a good one, ding dong. Yeah. Taking it with a grain of salt, you see. It's very similar to that phrase. If you take something with a grain of salt, that means you're not really, it's kind of tongue in cheek, you're not really, you're not really taking it seriously. It's like someone's opinion, take it with a grain of salt. Someone you don't respect, take it with a grain of salt. If they're a joker, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
So, but taking it in stride is not quite the same thing. Stride suggests an occurrence. It suggests something happening to you, like, let's say, not winning a competition, since we're always talking about competitions. Okay, so if someone does, I talked to someone the other day that was calling about management, that had been eliminated in the first round of some doohickey competition, and they weren't that upset. And I could tell they took it in stride. They know that it's political. They know that it's biased. They know that there's an agenda. They know
all
this,
these things
they know
going
that.
on, right?
And they know the jury, which may not be of quality, is looking for a certain superficial quality, possibly. And that's why they were eliminated, because they're a serious artist, okay, this person. Okay,
Yeah.
So take it in stride. It's a good idea, but it's very difficult to do. You see what I'm saying?
Right. It's
That's all
nice
I have
in
to
theory.
say.
That's kind of your personal experience, I'm sure. Speaking.
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience.
How have you
Should
done it?
we?
How have you-
Why should we? Because it's good for us. Taking things too seriously or taking one's self too seriously can have repercussions and consequences. Okay, and that's what we'll get into in door number 2. But the point is, should we take things in stride some things I think we should. In other words, it's kind of like picking your battles, kind of. Like when you're bringing up a child, they do so many things. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable here.
Like trying to raise a child.
When you're raising a child, you just want to do it perfectly, and you want to raise the perfect family.
The first
At least
time.
I did. Yeah. You find out when they're 12, you've failed. Basically.
That how it goes?
It's right around 11 or 12 where you go, I didn't sign up for this. But I was an easy father, compared to my father and other fathers that I observed. I did take it in stride because I knew I'm going to repel the child if I go, oh, don't do that because of convention, possibly. Like if the child tells you something that's unconventional from your standpoint, you might say, oh, come on, that's totally wrong. It may be right for them.
Right.
So I'm kind of that ilk.
Which could repel them. Right, yeah.
Like in that way, I would say I'm more progressive or liberal. But most of the time, I'm not like that. I'm a fiscal conservative, that kind of thing. I like to conserve my money and assets. I don't like throwing it away on vacations. I don't even like vacations. I take it in stride that I don't like vacations. It's not a serious topic. Yeah.
Right.
Besides, I've been everywhere. So, see, it all is a combination of variables. Why someone takes something in stride and why another person takes that very same occurrence not in stride. And they take it very seriously and they cry and they're upset. But it's to each his own, Okay. But the answer to the question is we should take things in stride.
Because it's good for us.
It's good for us, yeah.
Yeah, it's better than worrying. Because as we've gone over in previous episodes of season 1, worrying doesn't do anything for you, really.
Right.
Yeah.
But the point is, what is the point, Richie? The point is some things like the furniture, like that joke, how did Helen Keller's parents punish her? They rearranged
the furniture.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's funny, but in a way, the drawer with with the spoons and the knives and the forks is indicative of my life. My life is meticulous. You see how meticulous these shirts are, and they're perfectly ironed, and I don't show up like Mr. Wrinkleman.
Right.
You could call me Mr. Clean, like the guy on the bottle.
Yes.
So this is not necessarily good, okay? But it's me, but I wish I would take things more in stride because I think it affects me. So my advice to the audience, if there is one listening, I'm saying take things, balance. It comes to the word balance. Life needs balance. You don't need to be so vehement about things. This has to be this way. I remember this pianist I was studying with. I played some Bach for him, and he said, "Oh, you broke my heart here, like at this spot in the piece. You just broke my heart." Well, you know why I broke that person's heart? Because they didn't play it just like he does. So it broke his heart. I was individual. I was Richie instead of so and so. And so I think he needs to take it in stride. I don't have to sound just like him. I should sound like me,
I think you broke his heart because you played it much differently and he wished that he could play it
he wanted it a certain way. Oh, I remember the passage very well. And I didn't play it that way, and you broke my heart. And I said, Mr. So-and-so, I think that's a little overreactive. I didn't break your heart. I don't see your heart breaking. You're not crying, and you're still alive. Okay. So the point is, take things in stride. Take things easy, but that doesn't mean just lay back in a hammock and what's the famous show, The Life of Riley? Where this guy Riley just lays in a hammock all day long and oh, you know, everything.
Oh, right, you talked about the show. Yeah.
The Life of Riley. I don't like The Life of Riley. I don't like that concept. I'm the opposite of The Life of Riley, but Riley was a good guy. You know, he relaxed. He took life easy. And this is a good antidote for those who are very, 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 I'm not going to use the word, but, you know, it starts with an A, uptight. You know, in other words,
Workaholics.
they have to have, workaholics and things like, they have to have things just
pedantic.
right.
Pedantic.